They all say that the key to your success is your mind. But do you really hold the key to your mind? Welcome to the Key to Your Mind show. Imagine for a second how it would feel to be in complete control of your finances, health, and relationships, and help individuals, teams, and organizations achieve that level of success easier and faster. Every week you'll gain access to magic keys to your mind, making all the difference in your personal and professional life. Now here are your hosts, top international NLP master trainers, Naomi and Rami Birkett.
All right. So let me ask you something. If someone says that X causes Y, could it be that actually Y causes X? You know, you hear your client say something and you feel disappointed with his or her limiting talking and patterns, right? And often we are limiting ourselves unconsciously. And then we feel burned out, unresourceful, and drained of energy, right? And the same is when you listen to your clients' limiting patterns that they put upon themselves.
And here is the thing. We can catch it and help them and ourselves as well to resolve it without giving advice that may create resistance and instead challenging what it is said and asking the right questions so they and we can tap into more resourceful state and break through the limitation that they or we put upon ourselves.
Absolutely. So in other words, people are using language patterns in their conversation that may be holding them back. And then they are puzzled and disappointed that they didn't achieve their desired results.
Yeah, absolutely. We all aspire to be successful in our personal and professional and also social life, right? And often we face conflicts in our day-to-day conversations. So effectively navigating difficult conversation and disputes will definitely help us also to resolve conflicts in a constructive and healthy way.
Absolutely. And that is why we are here in this show, right? So welcome to the Key to Your Mind show.
Where is the key? Ooh, key to your mind.
I'm Naomi Birkett.
And I'm Rami Birkett. And at today's show, the intention is to learn how, instead of giving advice that may create resistance, because people don't like when other people tell them they should do this or that, right? So with the techniques that we'll share with you today, we can help them and see and feel that they are the ones who tell themselves and want to change their attitude and release limitations. In other words, instead of putting limitation on themselves, we stimulate in them a resourceful state to release their limitations.
So we want to illustrate here how you can challenge any link that you or your client has in their mind.
Because underneath language syntax and or semantic structure, there is either a cause and effect, which is something cause something else, right?
Something causes something else.
According to their model of the world, or what we call a complex equivalence, which is something equals or means something else in their model of the world.
Okay, so let's make it more clear, right? So let me ask you again, right? If I say that X causes Y, right? Or X causes me to feel Y, is it possible that Y actually causes X? And let me illustrate what I mean. Is the reason, for example, I'm not going to work out, is it really because I feel tired? Or could it be that I'm actually feeling tired because I do not work out, right?
Right.
Or
it can be, right?
If I say, X equals Y in my mind. Could it be that X does not equal Y? Let's say we text someone, okay? And when he doesn't respond immediately or soon after, we say to ourselves, this person does not have any respect for me. Because in my mind, not answering immediately means equal that I'm not that important for him. And could it be that the reason he doesn't answer has nothing to do with how important I am? Maybe it simply means something else, like that he's busy or that he doesn't want to answer casually and unattentively. Maybe I'm actually very important and important enough in his mind that he doesn't just want to answer casually, you know?
Wow. Right. And we can also claim that under each X equals Y, there's also a hidden cause and effect, okay? And the question to ask yourself first is, do I read my client's minds? Or is it better that I won't play, guessing games, and instead figuring out their real limiting patterns by challenging them? And therefore, they can resolve the real problem, the root of the problem, and not what I'm assuming is the problem.
So let's illustrate an example. Let's say that you and your spouse decided to go together to the gym after work. And then just before you're supposed to go, your spouse tells you, oh, I'm too tired now. That can create a conflict, right? And it can go totally in the wrong direction. Or another example can be that you set out to go to a party together, and then one spouse says that he actually doesn't want to go because he's not good at social events.
So let's examine one of them, okay? So for example, we have this sentence, I'm too tired, I cannot walk out. I'm too tired, I cannot walk out. Let's see what could be the possible limiting patterns when we hear a sentence like that. And we want to help the person to see what he doesn't see behind these words, right? That's exactly what we're trying to do here. So in that person model of the world, tired causes him not to walk out, right? I'm too tired, I cannot walk out. But as we mentioned before, could it be that because he doesn't walk out, he feels tired?
And we can help them to see the consequences also of their limiting patterns by asking questions like if, let's say, a client say, I'm not going to speak on stage because I'm too afraid. Then you can ask them something like, what will happen if you don't speak on stage? How would you feel in the long run?
It's a good question. Another question can be, what will happen if you do speak on stage? How would you feel how would that makes you feel in the long run?
So as a coach, think first in your mind, is it possible that your client is using something just as an excuse? Like in the example of I'm too tired to walk out. Is tiredness could be just an excuse? Could it be that there is something else that holds her back? And let me give you a so-called funny example, okay? So let's say all your friends spontaneously are deciding to go to the beach now, okay? Could it be that she doesn't want to go because she didn't shave her legs and she's more comfortable to say that she's too tired and just use this as an excuse, right? So, and of course, you don't want to ask the client the same question you're asking yourself in your head, because then the client may answer defensively, right? And you may lose the rapport.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. An empowering question that you can ask the client instead can be, in what other context you still did something although you were tired and you were happy with that afterwards?
Okay, so recalling such a thing, right, like the question Rami asked, can boost her energy back, right, and release the feeling of tiredness, if that's her real reason. Or if that's not a real reason, she might say instead, you know what, now that she's in a good state, you know what? If you give me an hour, I can actually join you. And without even revealing more information.
Interesting. Another way to help her is you can use a metaphor, such as, my friend is always reminding me that working out is gifting yourself a healthy life.
Right? You give different link.
In other words, the metaphor gives them a different link. Working out equal a gift, not something that is hard to do.
Love it. And here's another cool question in which I'm using past tense instead of present tense to empower her. And also I bring her back the control on her state. Okay, so I can ask something like, what made you think or feel you were too tired? Right? So what happened? We are using a past tense, kind of causing the client to believe that he's no longer tired, she's not longer tired also. And also it causes her or him to take back charge of her state.
That's so powerful. That's so powerful. Or if I want if I want her to tap into the cause and effect thinking, that she is the one that puts limits upon herself, then I can ask her, what is it that made you decide?
So you decide even. What made you decide
that you were too tired and therefore you couldn't work out? Right?
Another example in sales, for example, right? So let's say I'm the client and I say something like, it's too fast, it won't last, right? They doubt that like whatever you offer them, it's too fast, it won't last, right?
So what I would like you to notice is that in her model of the world, something that goes fast equal to or means that it can't last, right? So by the way, Naomi, is it possible that it's too fast to conclude that?
Okay. So here I'm a client again and I say, I'll give you other option for resolving, help the client resolve. It's too fast, it won't last.
I would like you to consider this, Naomi. It's for sure won't last until you see how great it does.
Okay, so let's say I'm insisting, it's too fast, it won't last, it will not last.
This reminds me that before there was a Zoom or before there was a phone, people were skeptical too, Naomi.
Okay. It's too fast, it will not last.
Interesting. I would like you to consider this question. Isn't it the depth of the therapy more important than its duration?
The depth more than its duration. Love it. Okay, we are on the phone and the client said to you, it's too fast, it will not last.
By the way, I wonder how fast is too fast? Or how slow should it be?
Good point.
Yeah, in your opinion, how specifically does the length of therapy lead to quality?
Love it. Right? It makes you think, right? It makes the person think for himself rather than resist. So it's fun, right? So rather than creating resistance, right, we are creating resourcefulness in ours and others' life, right? And better resourcefulness naturally leads to better results, right? So really pay attention to your or others' limiting patterns and practice this uplifting method. Practice it to mastery. And see you at the next show.